We're live, and I'm sure you've already worked out in the first nanosecond that we aren't at Lineside Studios, and we're down here at BG Luceco in Telford, and we're their guests today. And when we talk about guests, we've got some in front of us, haven't we, Gordon?
We have. We've got some special guests. We've got Ben from Sync EV, one of the founders of Sync EV. EV charging company you should be familiar with. If you're not, hopefully will be very soon. And there's one behind us.
Yeah, it's there in the cinema.
And we've got Dale Hunter, one of our 30 under 30 winners from last year. And if you stick around, we'll be announcing how you can enter this year's competition.
You say 30 under 30, Gordon, so some people want to be aware of that phrase. I can't believe our core audience won't be. What is 30 under 30?
Well, last year we selected 30 electricians aged under 30.
Yeah.
That automatically puts you out, Gary. We're not under 60. And we had hundreds of entries for that, and we selected ones who we think are basically, should we say, the future of the electrical industry, doing great things, from building great business, employing people, even at the start of their careers, showing promise when they're at college, and we'll be selecting another 30 this year. And
that's what we're going to dive into. So we're going to talk to you, Dale, and how you built a business, and obviously the award and what's happened since you've won that award, and also what's happening tomorrow to some of these award winners. And when we say we picked, we're probably being a bit over generous about our part of the process there, because they were triaged down, and there was a judging panel of about 12 judges that chose the winners.
Yeah, it was, and some people I was even scared of when I was on the calls with them as well. So it was quite an intense process.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
I chaired one of those panels, and I mean, there was people, it was like the hokey cokey. So the 30 that was triaged down to, I think, 37 had sort of won an award, and then obviously they were moved in and out. And some people had their hands on a 30 under 30 award. They'll never know who they are, and it slipped away as they finally didn't get one. So well done for winning one, Dale.
Thank you.
So the past few months after winning the award, okay, talk us through your business and the things you're getting up to at the minute.
So since winning the award, I've actually taken on 2 additional employees with the help of a business coach, which is helping to expand my business.
Okay.
We've started to move into the sector of working in the NHS. So we're starting to do work in like doctor surgeries, helping around North London, carrying out like refurbishments of consultation rooms. And with that sort of contact, we're hopefully going to be moving into sort of doing some work in the hospital sort of sector as well to help with the NHS.
So when you say expanding the team, you've taken on 2 more electricians?
Yeah, so I've got 2 more electricians, and I'm currently in the process of taking on 2 apprentices as well.
Wow, that's what we want to hear, innit? That's the full story. And of course, we said under 30, you can't be under 30 and building a business like that. How old are you, Dale?
I am 28.
28, still got a couple more in. You could win 2 more awards then, Gordon.
Yeah, it could be. We'll see. We'll have to do some. Yeah, there's a great story like this. A10 Electricals your business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I thought, obviously, being a certain age, you think A10. What were you thinking, Gary?
I'm thinking the Yellow Pages or the phone book, and they used to put 10 A's, didn't they, first? And then they get.
Well, that's not. Where does A10 come from?
I used to live directly on the A10, so I thought from my business perspective it would go all the way from central London up to Cambridge to cover a massive area of sort of electrical sort of standards. So anyone that searched up A10, whether it's in Cambridge, Hertford or central London, I was hoping it would come up with A10 Electrical.
Okay, that's really good. Well, it must have done because you're building that business. Yeah. So what sort of work are you involved with? You said there about obviously the hospital sector. Is that only what you do, or are you doing domestic, commercial, industrial, or as you like to call it something else, but we won't say that word on the live stream? Yeah. It rearranges the letters.
Yeah, I also I don't specialise in it, but we do a lot of work with sort of letting agents, making sure that EICRs and sort of all of the rental properties are currently up to electrical standards.
Right.
We are starting to do some work with some councils and housing associations, such as the Church of England.
Right.
So we've been doing that since the beginning of sort of A10, and it's where we sort of built the foundation for our business, and it's just naturally sort of grown as we've taken on more employees. Different types of work have sort of been presented to us, and we've taken the decision to sort of focus on looking after the domestic and hopefully giving back to the NHS by doing more work for them.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. That's a hospital job.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Now, of course, it'd be rude not to ask, because obviously electrical accessories are pretty apparent around the room that we're in. You'll see more of the room, and we've also got, if you stay on, let's do a little hook for you. We're going to do Regulation Corner absolutely live this week. We might have hoodwinked people in the past, but we're doing it absolutely live. So we could flip the camera now to see Joe. There he is. And he is super live. So I need to do something, Joe, in order that people know it's live. So can you wave with your free hand?
He's on his grassy knoll over there.
Earlier on, I was going to support him in his live bit, but I think now little bit less support going to be involved. Yeah, now we can hear them laughing, can't we? Yes, okay. So we were talking electrical accessories. Obviously, we're talking about possibility of fitting EV as well. What's your go-to electrical accessory at the minute?
So electrical accessories that we fit is the BG range that is actually currently behind us. We like to use sort of the Evolution sort of range at the moment. We like the smooth sort of flat looking, and so do the customers. It always gives sort of a good quality finish and is very reliable that I've found so far.
Okay, you done much EV?
We've done a little bit of EV. We've just currently installed one on Tuesday this week in a Rewired that we've just finished in Andrews Lane in Cheshunt.
Okay.
And we've potentially got another two that are going to be installed sort of around sort of London areas such as Loughton and Chingford.
It doesn't matter what your answer is, I'm going to be nice and brave. What type of EV charger did you install?
You'll probably be able to answer that one. I've shown you which it is up there. It's the tethered version that's sitting directly behind you on the right-hand side.
Stroke a look. That was one, it's stroke a look.
Yeah, good answer.
So we can see already, can't we, that you know, so we're building a business, and that doesn't mean if you're not building a business, you can't necessarily enter for this year's 30 under 30. And when's that opening up then, Gordon?
It's opening up tomorrow. You get a sneak peek tonight. You can click on the link now, actually. So, not now, but after this live stream.
So is it link in the description?
Link in the description. It'll be all over social media tomorrow, and we'll, as I say, it runs all the way through until the 31st of January. But I would get entries in early just to make our lives easier. And that's what we're really...
Yeah, that's really going to help it. Again, strike by the iron top. But so we're saying there that so somebody might be watching this on the live stream. There might even still be an FE. So they might be thinking, well, I can't enter. I'm under 30. I can't enter a 30 under 30 because I haven't built a business like Dale. I'm not employing people. I'm not considering taking on a couple of apprentices, which is music to our ears. But that's not the case because I know 3 apprentices, and a couple of those were out of British Steel. They actually won the 30 under 30 award. So you don't necessarily have to be built yourself a business, even though it's a fantastic way to do it, and obviously get nominated for 30 under 30. There's other ways in, isn't there, Gordon?
Yeah, so it celebrates the whole of the electrical industry. You have to be training towards being an electrician. Obviously, some people do some great work at college, going that extra mile, should we say. Helps if you get your college lecturer behind you to support that process. But we do go into all sorts of details. Yeah, so we've got in touch with the college lecturers, asked them who's your sort of star pupils, and then went a stage further to the students themselves. They wrote some statements and some great backstories behind some of the people who won last year. Challenging people, a lot of people been through challenges in their lives, especially going through COVID as well.
Yeah.
So we went through that. And they really shone through. It was great. If you go on the website and get an idea, you can see the previous winners and find out a little bit of story about them. And we've got some videos coming out with some of the winners. I was on site a few weeks ago up in Scotland with Colin Mulvaney at CM Electrical. Yeah, you've been. Who went down to Dorset? Was that Joe? Was it
Joe drew the short straw for that one, I would suggest. So again, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have built a business, but people did. Lots of the winners had built businesses, and they built them businesses before they turned the age of 30, but it isn't necessarily the only criteria. So you could be in a large company, working your way through that business. You've been fast-tracked, you finish your college course, maybe you've done some additional courses, maybe some management courses, and you find yourself now in the drawing office. It could be that your journey is so spectacular before the age of 30 that would make a fantastic nomination, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it is. And we've got people who rightfully won that and are going on, shows you sort of pick the right winners when you sort of see what's happened even in the short period from last year's awards. And it's good.
Well, we're talking about awards. Can we have a look at the ones that you won, Dale? Because I see you've brought them in with you. So I've got a little hand cam in, so I can bring the little hand cam in. So that's the 30 under 30 award in association with our good friends here at the Luceco group. So that is a lovely looking award, and I'm in shot as well, so it makes it even better. Yeah, and you got a little certificate as well. I like that. Proud place at home, is it? Is it the old mantelpiece, or is it in a cove, or is it in a man cave, Dale?
Oh, I've got 2 of them. So one's in the mantelpiece and one's in the man cave.
All right, I like it. And you said to me off camera that you're thinking of getting married soon as well, so we'll bring that up next. So, you said while we were having dinner that it's something you wanted to do, maybe on air. You might want to announce that you want to push through the relationship. What a wonderful time. Would you like your moment now, Dad? We're going to hold it for a private moment.
Who's got a copper ring? Copper ring, anybody?
So, so you're good ladies with us, and you're going to be with us tomorrow, because I think we've got a busy day tomorrow, haven't we?
Yeah, we're out and about. We're
we've got to throw it in. We've never had one of these sort of days.
No, a day out, actually. I think it's actually since, obviously, we came out of those lockdown restrictions. Yeah, we've been let out in the loose. So yeah, we're having a little tour around Jaguar Land Rover tomorrow, and then I think we're out in Birmingham tomorrow night. Closing out the Conservative Party conference.
Okay,
we'll have our say.
And I'm sure it will be listened to.
Yeah.
So what we'd like you to do now is you've got some questions about the eFIXX Awards, maybe the 30 and the 31. We've got Dale here, and the process is to bang them into the comments, and Gordon's going to pick them up this evening, and we'll try and answer some of those as we go through. However, let's start by giving people an opportunity. Well, we've been rustling around in the warehouse here, haven't we, Gordon?
Gary's swap shop.
Gary's swap shop.
We found some torches, green torches.
Okay, so I think this is going to be one of yours, Gordon. So I think that's going to be for your GT Tom. So okay, so got that one. Yeah. And I think this one also. So there's two GT Toms. You've got two. That's a traditional miner's lamp, isn't it?
Well,
back in your day.
Back in the northeast, that's it. We're all like that.
How are you going to get that one away? I mean, I've got two of these. Okay, so I've got two of these.
Yeah.
Can't need a name. We'll perhaps try and also throw a few other bits in. We take 28 days to get in the post, so by the time we run close to 28 days, we tend to throw some free stickers in.
Now, I must say something about these BG lamps.
Yes.
We've never reviewed them.
We haven't.
But we've given loads away.
We have.
Yeah. Given away.
Yes.
They don't have to be tagged in or anything like that to get them.
No.
And I've been using the head torch one for the last 3 years, and I walk the dog actually.
Yeah.
And they're competitively priced.
They are competitively priced. I've got a lot of friends that obviously when they see our stuff become even better friends, and I've obviously furnished them with a couple of those, and all of them say how amazing those are, those head torches. So you want to play along in Gary's swap shop, okay? You're going to need to put the word in, but you don't know at the minute. We've got to send me in, do you? So along to play with Gary's swap shop. 2 names will be pulled out at the end, and if you send me something in the post, then I will send you out the LED torch that we've got here. So shall we make the keyword Gary's swap shop LED torch? Are you happy with that, Rick? LED torch? Are you happy with that, Rick? LED torch? You're in the room, Rick. You're Rick, yes?
LED torch is fine.
LED torch is fine. So we're going with LED torch. If you want to play along, that's great. So let's say if you're lucky enough to be pulled out to want something maybe some sort of covering. What should I go for?
An old torch.
Old torch? No.
Or a broken torch.
No, let's go for something simple. Let's make it easy for people. We tend to ask for time clocks, don't we?
Yeah.
We've got one. I know we do. Let's go for a bit of brown sleeving.
Brown sleeve.
I think
You're not black.
No. Definitely brown sleeve. Now, to get black sleeving, you're probably straying into the world of mineral insulated cables, okay, to get to black sleeving. And I wouldn't be enough of a clown to put black sleeving on when I meant to put brown sleeving on, even if it was dark brown sleeving, because that wouldn't be my thing, would it? So if you can find me a small piece of brown sleeving, which would be very helpful to me if you win at the end. So to play along, put in LED torch, and that's for these two down here. Yours will be up on the GT Tom, won't they, Gordon?
They will.
Right, okay. So, all good. So is the GT Tom something you want to ask and offer it for people?
Is it what?
You want to ask for people for the GT Tom, Gordon?
Well, not yet, no.
Well, it says first challenge on the list.
No, I do the register.
Oh, right, okay.
You're not reading the board.
I'm not reading the board.
And there's plenty of people in for the register.
Okay, we'll do the register.
So, from the top, there's a lot of people in it.
How many have we got in, Gordon?
We've got 69. So, sockets, Richard Brook, we've got Sean Dempsey, we've got Carl Robinson, A-Spot1, Chris B, Sergio Fernandez, 9+ installations in Tenerife. Now, I'm heading to Tenerife, so
I know that I saw on Insta you're going to try and meet him.
yeah, I'm going to see if you can meet up the bar. Keep going. Sean Spark, Sean's Terry Moore, regular. Princess Spark was another one of our regular winners. Is in the Birmingham area, so on Instagram. Leo Winspear, Billy Torrey, all the way up there in Scotland. Daddy B, Chris Oswin, no, Aaron, Sparky 400T, Ex-Force Electrician, Big Ash Electrics, Marks, Shabazz, Arrow Electrical Distributor Steve Skillen, another friend of the show. Paul Tipton, I've seen him for a while. Dan Sparky, keep going. Gareth Murgatroyd, Richard Cockerline, parents got Caravan Skipton, just a little bit of acknowledge there. DAE, Kevin Osborne, Ashley Williams, Kevin Osborne, Arrow Electric, 9+, Richard, no, getting there, all on. Jamie Blaine of the Information Talk.
Who's that? Is that a new guy?
He's been busy this week. And I did like a quote.
Can we?
No, I'm not going to quote that
Can
quote.
we?
I'm not going to quote that quote. But he said a toolbox is sort of something he creates of your life.
Oh,
You
yeah.
collect them together, and those tools go in there, stay in there. I'd agree with that.
Yeah, and got you out of a hole, you know, that one screwdriver that managed to get you through that ceiling that got you to wherever, or that pair of cutters that managed to get through the armoured.
And the one you lent to the builder, you never got back.
Yeah, one you left in the, I live in Sharnbrook now, and there is a floorboard in Sharnbrook. I reckon I'd get within 3 houses of where I left it in my apprenticeship, a bolster chisel under the floor. I reckon if I went in there, I'd recognise the cupboard.
So we've got Crumpus. I think that is it on regular, so I've missed anyone out. Anthony Johns, MB Electrical, and Dr. Electric, and James Kane, and Dave Noel, and Onrin Bridus. There we go. Sure. There you go.
Okay. Brilliant, well done, thank you for that. And if you're wondering why Ben's sitting here, Ben's going to link in a minute with the EV story, isn't he? So, but you first of all going to ask people for the...
It is, we've got the Electricians Challenge, it's in 2 halves tonight. We've got the team who were from Rewired Agency, we've got Dan gone first, we're gambling on Dan's time. How fast did Dan complete the Electricians Challenge in minutes and seconds? The closest person to that will win one of these flashlights later in the show.
So just give us a bit of a rundown on Dan then. So he's got no electrical background, but he works in the electrical sector.
Yes, you'll find out as we go to.
Okay, so just when you give a little bit of help here. Yeah,
We normally wouldn't be able to see him on. It was on a few weeks ago.
That was, yeah. You look like a famous person. Who do you look like?
That's all right.
Oh, right, okay. Talking of not can't remember, let's try that for a little bit of style now, folks. I'd like to thank the good people at Doncaster Cables and Marshall Tuffets. I'd like to thank our fans at My Energy, as well as the people at Doncaster Cable and Ludon Palazzoli. I can't remember everyone, Gordon, but I'm sure you can finish it off. Well done. Yeah. Even you can't miss that one, can you? So thank you very much for the people that are supporting us here, and obviously we're at DG Luceco today for this live stream. So time should be pouring in, Gordon. So after that, we're going to be talking all things EV, aren't we? All things EV.
Yes.
So you were original electrician then?
Yeah, 20 years.
Okay.
And
And
tools.
we also have electricians that go off and build a business. What did you do after you were still an electrician, but what else did you do?
Created an electric vehicle charger and brought it to market.
Did you?
Yeah, the smallest one in the UK.
Well, that sounds like a fantastic idea. Perhaps we'll come back to that story in a minute and see what happens with that company.
Yeah.
We're having some audio issues, so if you can all be really loud, that would be great. So just shout.
What's up?
We've had a little bit of the kids
audio
failed,
is
so they
so
can only hear you through the iPad at the moment, so you need to just project
Oh, wow.
until we can get it fixed.
Oh, I take it the race balls on, yeah? Oh, right, okay, we're live still. Okay, well, carry on talking then. So Gordon's over sorting out the mics, had some mic issues. There's always something in that. So, yeah, it's good. Perhaps play the race ball for us, Rick. Yeah, that would be handy.
Should be on there.
We're back in now.
All right, okay, what was wrong? Okay, so...
Time for another Electricians Challenge. Now, sometimes at eFIXX, it's like you're running a dating agency when 2 people come together who've met online but never met face to face. It's my pleasure to introduce Dan McAdam and Adam Pavey. Pull up the chair. So I guess, so Dan, we'll start with you. So you're not an electrician.
I'm not.
You run a company called the Rewired Agency, which sounds suspiciously like you rewire houses.
We don't.
Yeah.
So we take care of electricians' administration requirements. Slight difference is we only work with electricians. So for the last 6 years, we've been taking care of everything they don't want to do, really, Gordon, to be honest. And Adam is one of our clients, one of our long-standing customers.
So what don't you want to do, Adam?
Well, apart from the wiring part and everything else, it's the admin, the quoting, invoicing, taking phone calls, emailing, pretty much everything that's not on the tools, basically.
So you're based in South Manchester Electrical?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the posh bit of Manchester, I would know.
Yeah.
I had a look on your website. No Levens, Hume, Longsight, Rusholme on there. It was
Well,
all...
we will travel into those areas, yeah.
For a premium.
Yeah.
For a premium. But so all you do now, you've handed over all that back office stuff to Dan.
Yeah, it was. You just got to take the jump. I couldn't look any more professional, I think, now with everything that they do for me. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So get this right now. You said you now finish work at 3 o'clock.
About 2, 3 o'clock, yeah, most days.
Right, which is pretty good. But you've had a full day. You're earning.
Yeah.
What you need to earn.
Yeah.
But you've made a lifestyle. All that time in the past when you were doing quotes and chasing materials, you now take care of all that.
Yeah, I think that's what it's about, really. I mean, we've enjoyed some, good success over the last 6 years, but I just think people get stuck in a rut. They're trying to turn the corner, and it's quite easy to see from the outside looking in that they've just taken on too much. And because there isn't an obvious route to go down or an obvious person to give those tasks to, I think from what I can see, electricians just kind of do it the way they've always done it, which isn't healthy, in my opinion. It's not healthy for their mindset, for their family life. But then the years pass and you're 10 years into the gig and you haven't grown, you haven't turned that corner. And I passionately believe it's because of this kind of outsourcing problem.
Right. And do you find you're giving electricians advice on what to do? Do you become a bit of a mentor sort of in the background?
By accident, Gordon, to be honest, yeah. When I set the business up, it was literally to take care of all the stuff they don't want to do.
All the stuff we really look forward to. I love doing emails.
Exactly, you know, I know you're all administration junkies and you absolutely love spending late nights building quotes for Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah.
But yeah, the initial intention was to solve a problem. And what that's kind of developed into is a situation where we've been doing it for so long, we've got so much experience, we've had, you know, every day probably what, 50, 60, 70 quotes go out of our office. So when you're doing that for electricians up and down the country, you start to get a really good understanding of what works and what doesn't work. So to answer your question, long-winded way about it, yeah, we do end up giving advice and kind of helping them make decisions and grow their businesses. Yeah, absolutely.
And Adam, what's the feedback you get from customers? Because obviously they now must think your team's enormous. He's got this big back office behind him.
Yeah, I've been with Dan now for, I think, close to 3-4 years, with a bit of a space in between because of the pandemic. But I think my previous clients and a couple of previous clients have dealt with Kieran, who looks after my business, and they said that there's a height of more professionalism was what I was told at once. Obviously, I think instead of just somebody phoning me, I turn up and I call them back and say, right, this is the quote, or send it in a text message, or for instance, or obviously it comes. They speak to Kieran firsthand. An electrician turns up to quote the job, and then they speak back to Kieran and receive the quote and everything. So obviously it does make you look bigger than the next person who's...
Right. So get that right. So you're doing the quotes, you will also chase the quotes as well?
Yes. So, you know, scheduling the work, invoices, quotes, the quotes kind of expands a bit. So we'll build and send the quotes, but then we follow up on the quotes that haven't been accepted. I mean, that alone, forget everything else. And, you know, even if Rewired isn't for you and you want to carry on doing it your own way, you follow your quotes up is probably, you know, one of the most unbelievable kind of groundbreaking new moves you can make. Yeah. I was saying to you earlier, the amount of times we follow a quote up and the customer says they haven't received it because it's gone into their junk. And without that phone call, you know, you're not even in the game.
Yeah. Sending the quote's the first step though as well. That's always a good one.
Really helps, and that's another, you know, another unbelievable situation where, you know, somebody might go and look at a job and actually not get round to sending the quote, which...
No, it's one of the things, it happens, it's happened with me loads of times where it can be down to my fault, where I've given the info over and I've got an email wrong, because you don't know what some email addresses are like. If they're 6 paragraphs longer, for instance, obviously it's easy to miss a number out. Or,
yeah.
So
I think also, in fairness to electricians, you know, knowing what the problem is and knowing the pressures they're under. Like, I am useless, as some of you just witnessed on the on the wall there. But I'm no good, DIY, stuff like that. And often I associate what electricians try to do. So they go out and do the day job, and then they get home and try and do all that other stuff, which is imperative to running and building a business.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And you've got loads of financial pressure because you're self-employed, you've got your mortgage to pay,
absolutely,
and all that stuff.
But you know, if I did all my day job and then got home and started to try and rewire the house, it would end in disaster because I'd just be burning the candle at both ends.
Well, on that bombshell, it's time to do some of our own admin. We'll see how, what was like to say, non-electrician goes first. We'll have to see how he got on with the Electricians Challenge. And Dan is off. And yeah, he says for someone as a non-electrician, he seems to be pretty adept with a screwdriver.
Yeah, and jewellery, I would suggest. That's a lot of bangles and a wristwatch there as well.
It is, yeah. It's quite a big wristwatch, that guy. It's almost like one of those ones that goes on your ankle that says you need to be home at night.
Well, yeah, 9 o'clock, you've got to be in and near a phone. I would suggest if it is, it's on his wrist rather than his ankle. So, good start. Now, non-electrician, he set himself a low bar. I think he was a little bit nervous coming into this. Nobody got me the memo, though, I noticed. It's National Shorts Day, is it? Because it looks like Rick's wearing a pair of shorts, Dan's got a pair of shorts on, and so has Adam.
Well, the tongue is out. There's a sense of concentration there. He says he wasn't competitive when he started, but we know how that heaps up as he goes. Suddenly, yeah, I'll just take it easy. But look at that aggressive twisting.
He did listen, though, so if you watch this, this is worth watching for anyone coming in. So if you don't tape him, that's fine, but look how straight he gets this in a minute.
Oh, hold on, we've just had a Maloney there. The old crimping the wire with the teeth. Not recommended, but...
look at that. That is going to go up. That'll go straight up.
Yeah,
wow. And if you can maintain that round the Luceco bend and into the Luden and consumer unit, it actually makes this a whip in really easy as well. So once you look at that, it just flies in because you've got a very good twist, firm twist. Well, these Wago cutters come strippers have been fantastic. I don't think anyone who's seen them hasn't used them because they are brilliant.
Yeah, no, he's looking fast there. If Ross is watching this, he could be worried here.
Yeah, do you think he's also, I know Daley Thompson, back in the days of the decathlete, those people who remember that far back, used to take all his body hair off when he used to compete to make himself faster. Do you think Dan's used a very similar tactic on the old head?
We wouldn't normally talk about thinning carpets and things like that, but yeah, there's a bit of contrast between the incredibly bald bit and the bit he's trying to cut to make it sure not bald.
Yeah, I'd say I've seen more hair on a billiard ball than I have on top of Dan's head, but that's probably a different story.
Right, so he's in. He's all right. He's gone for the. He's following some more advice. I think JB. Came up with this one first.
Yeah, JB's got a couple of things named after him. This little loops of JB, and obviously whenever we see the full moon on an evening, we also think of JB as well.
JB wasn't competitive at all, but I listened to a Finney Electrical podcast.
Top Electrician.
Where he was he was able to recount all 3 of his times for each loop, which suggests he was a little bit competitive.
It was. And have you ever sort of had people that said they continue to do something regularly and then there's an issue? So you walk miles and miles and miles, perhaps somebody like an Ian Botham's got problems with his feet, hasn't he?
Yeah.
After all that walking. Now, Dan used to work for a company that made shampoo.
Yeah.
Do you think he always would have had a full set of hair, but obviously kept using his own products and actually wore his head out?
Yeah, could have done. Yeah, that's it. He's all drop. But this is fast. Look at that screwdriver. He's nearly done. He's into the last screw. The tongue. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's done.
Oh, Dan frantically chewing on his bottom lip, I would suggest, there during the whole of that race.
It was, yeah. And, we have noticed before that we had a few sound issues because we've moved the whole studio to Telford, including everyone in the studio by the looks. I think we've ever had a studio.
Shall we look at the studio, see who's here? So,
we've got everyone there. Unless I spotted Steve there at the edge of the camera.
Oh, yeah, look, there he is, yeah. Wow, he's old.
Yeah. So apologies to Dan on his challenge wall. We didn't. I can't remember what we did in the voiceover yet because we couldn't hear it. We can normally hear it to remind ourselves of how we've insulted him.
Yeah, I think we mentioned his lack of hair, probably, and all the rest of it. But what's really good is now we don't do the edits anymore, do we? We've passed them over to Joe Jr. Obviously, he's founded the speeded up button, hasn't he? So he makes everybody look world class, doesn't he? Because he looked like he was proficient with that screwdriver. So that may have hoodwinked you on the time as well. So those times now have been catalogued, and somebody has won that prize, but we will not announce it, will we, until we've done the next one.
The end.
So that was the non-electrician, non-dart player gone first, doesn't it? So that's good. So I think it's your turn now, Ben. So Ben, you're big into EV. You were early adopters of EV.
Yeah, that's right.
So was it a need to go from being an electrician and see an open market, or was there a problem you thought you could solve as an electrician and then develop the business on the back of it?
It started by chance, to be honest. I was a solar panel installer. The feed-in tariff rates were being pulled all the time, and just by chance in an electrical wholesaler, I overheard a chap talking about fitting EV chargers with a £1,000 grant.
Right.
Sounded like something we'd like to get into, so we applied to OZEV in the very beginning. I think my OZEV registration number is 247.
Okay.
So one of the first 250, I think it's on 14,000 or something now.
Okay.
Yeah, and we just started installing. Back then, you had to install a smart meter alongside a
So
an
what
EV
year was
charger.
that then, Ben? Was that?
2016.
Yeah.
That was early adopting.
Yeah, but it's not that long ago to
2016,
think from where we've, you know, you were 200 odd to 14,000.
That's right.
Yeah.
Knocking on people's doors, seeing if they wanted an EV charger in 2016 was
Yeah.
hard work.
So what convinced you to just make your own charger rather than just buy? There was probably only a few people in the market at that time.
Well, yeah, only one big player, and
Perhaps looks like the
yeah,
Tupperware box.
It's like Voldemort. You don't really want to say it, do you? That
No.
name, do you?
No,
Might
not
catch
really.
fire.
I'll avoid saying it if possible. That's right. But yeah, we had issues. We were fitting a lot of chargers for the big player, and we were having big problems.
Really?
We had to support ourselves to fix them problems. So my business partner and I decided that we were going to have a look in some of the new chargers on the market, compare them to what we were fitting, see what the improvements were, see whether we could get these components for, and try and make a charger ourselves.
That is a big leap. I just love that moment, didn't you? So
Yeah.
we've gone from fitting them, we're fitting one that's probably failing on us and letting us down. So we're not going to maybe look for another one. We're going to actually jump into manufacturing. No manufacturing background at all.
No, not at all.
Your partner, your business partner?
Business partner, Paul, electronics background.
Okay, that was Andy.
Yeah, that's very handy, very handy. So yeah, there's some of the components that we found were failing. We replaced them with other ones that have been on the market for a bit longer. And,
Okay.
just as we got to a point of having a charger that we're about to go in for third-party testing, they brought out the new smart charging regulations, the OCPP 1.5. So it put us back to square one. We give up for a little bit then, actually. Went back to trying to earn some money as electricians, while Paul investigated what all this really needed, the modems and Mode 3 controllers and whatever that goes inside. Once he got his head around it all, then we started again.
I was thinking you were going to say, then they brought Penfold in. We've still not made one. It's one of them. So you're chasing the technology, chasing obviously the market along, and you created one that was massive, wasn't it? I remember seeing it. It was like a huge thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's quite big, but it ended up being the smallest charger in the world.
Yeah, small,
Well, in the UK.
yeah, unbelievably small, wasn't it?
Yeah, we beat the current product on the market. That probably don't want to say either, but
No, okay, it's fine.
they had the record for the smallest smart charger, and we pipped it by a few millimetres in width and height and depth.
Yeah, yeah.
So now they're the second smallest.
Yeah.
Now their product's not available. They've moved on, but
Okay, so obviously we've got a business going now. So we've got the smallest EV charger, so that's a great selling point. Okay, so we're underway. Where are we now in a time, and what's happening in EV adoption? Where are we up to?
well, eFIXX EV is now part of the Luceco group, so
We've jumped to that. Look, tell me the exciting bit in between, because we got to the exciting finishing line was effectively this bit here. What was the business looking like? So as you got it up and running.
for eFIXX EV.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a small team based in Crawley. We were selling, at first 100 chargers a month, 200 chargers a month, and all of a sudden we went to 300, 600. By the time we were getting interest from other parties, we were selling 1,700 a month, 2,000 chargers a month.
Wow, that is quick, isn't it?
Yeah, I was packing the boxes myself. I was answering the phone. I was dealing with the customers. All the team we did everything from start to finish.
And then obviously we got to you had that exciting moment. No doubt there was a small glass of something,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
a cigar to go at. Okay,
A
and
little glass of bubbly.
yeah, that's good.
Back to work.
You say back to work. I say back to work smiling. So
Yeah, definitely,
So
yeah.
you're now part of the Luceco team. You're heading up their EV division, effectively, are you?
That's right. Yeah, it's been a bit of a transition. Part of a big machine now, but with the support that we've got from the Luceco group and the staff that they've already got, it's just took us to another level.
And design-wise, very cute now, aren't they?
Yeah,
I'm not
we've
suggesting
got-
they weren't
we've
before.
got
They
a-
were
I
small
mean-
before. Sorry, Gordon.
Yeah, no, we've got a full review of that coming up, and the CPD will launch tomorrow as well. That's it. You can get a sneak peek in the link. And some people have already been over at the Luceco website and done it. So Big Ash was already out there early with it. I don't know. I mean, we would think, how's Ash got access to that?
I went on Big Ash. I put me on Instagram story, and I went onto our own website to find the link, and it wasn't there. And I was like, I might have read it wrong. I just released it. Yeah, so well done, Big Ash. He hunted that one down. But if you want an early access, really a day before public release, it's in the link in the description along with the awards, isn't it?
Yeah.
But don't go over there yet. Obviously, there's loads more great stuff.
But Ben, I think that's the classic, starting the business, through that full cycle. I mean, it's
pretty surreal. You know, we've had a bit of luck along the way, a lot of hard work, and
and the setbacks and everything that goes with it. And
Yeah,
I mean,
for
anyone
sure.
who's in electronics is a tough business. I mean, it's really tough because of you just need one component to be on a long lead time, and that's
exactly that.
it.
You know,
you ship the.
luckily we started before the problems with component supply. And
You had that bottle of fizzy then, didn't you?
yeah, all right, well then.
Again, we're looking for questions, Gordon, so we'll be looking in the comments about that. Obviously, what's your experience with EV, etc.? Have you fitted any of the new styled products, obviously out of BG, Luceco, etc.? We'll come back into those comments, as well as 30 under 30, won't we, Gordon?
Yeah, I mean, you have to pull your finger out now. You've got a few people on. This is what you can do.
Well, yeah, but this is what we're looking for. We're hoping maybe, it's almost. I remember a thing when I was small called 7 Up. Every 7 years they visited a family of people, not necessarily one family, different families. Somebody near to you, weren't they, was part of the 7 Up process. But wouldn't it be nice maybe in a few years' time that we return to our original 30 under 30 winners and see how their journey's gone on? So the ones that were effectively the back end of maybe a college experience and to ones that are building a business, when we come back and maybe be 35, obviously be married with 3 kids. Okay, yeah, hopefully it's the same one because I'll remember. So it'd be nice for us, wouldn't it, to be able to go back and revisit them and say, we're X, Y, and Z. So
Yeah,
that's good.
It's
I'm stalling it a bit because we're trying to make him a little bit nervous because Joe's going properly live tonight. There's no sleight of hand here, and to prove it, I'm going to go and take your microphone off him go over to him.
And fire some questions in for Dale and for Ben. We can keep going on this. I mean, it's a great.
Yeah, we will do. You've got no mic now, Gordon. So I'll come over. So here he is. So this is proper pressure, folks. He's going to try and style it out. Okay, I'm going to stand here for most of it and see you live doing it, young man. Good luck.
Thank you. We're just going to edit this bit out, yeah?
Yes,
With the microphone.
yeah. Good luck. All the best. Don't worry about somebody.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Welcome to Regulation Corner. Take a seat, get comfortable. Maybe pour yourself a drink. Well, with October arriving, it's probably time to admit that the summer is over and bid adieu to that beautiful season that we've enjoyed so much. It's really a bittersweet time. It's much like saying goodbye to a former love. You're sad that it's over, but you're glad that it happened. And it's really got me thinking about something else that ended with the close of last month, something we're also sad is over, but very, very glad that it happened. And that is the Safe for September campaign. In memorial of this epic quest to bring increased safety to the electrical industry, I'm going to turn to the document that is the foundation of this practice, GS38. In paragraph 9 of said esteemed document, we read a fascinating passage that may reveal more about you than you realise. The test probes, clips and leads used in conjunction with electrical test equipment should be selected to prevent danger. Modern test probes, clips and leads should be marked with the manufacturer's name or identifying mark and have the following: probes and clips which are insulated to leave an exposed metal tip not exceeding 4 millimeters measured across any surface of the tip. Where practicable, it is strongly recommended that this is reduced to 2 millimeters or less, or that spring-loaded retractable screened probes are used. So what are your thoughts on hearing that? Are you a 4 millimeter or a 2 millimeter person? Do you work to the most incredibly exacting standards, or do you get a thrill from the reckless excitement of working with 4 millimeters of exposed metal on your exposed tips there? Well, whichever of those requirements you're most attracted to, if you continue to put them into practice and safely isolate the systems you're working on, then you know that safe isolation isn't just for September, it's for 365.2425 days of the year. But maybe, just maybe, I'm overthinking this a little bit, and that requirement says absolutely nothing about you at all. I'll leave it with you to decide. I won't keep you any longer. Thanks for stopping by, and the next time you're passing, drop in. Say hello. There's always a place for you here at Regulation Corner. Good night.
I'm coming back. Don't talk yet, Gordon. You haven't got a microphone on. So clip that one on, young man. Oh, brilliant.
Fantastic. Pressure is on now for forever.
Yeah, I think we just go live every week.
Go live. Yeah.
Just go live every week. I don't think it's... So, and again, let's round that out again ourselves. We've got some prizes to give. I think we've got 100 safe isolation kits and 10 voltage testers from TIS to give away. And the
Yeah.
safe isolation kits are from eFIXX, obviously TIS are for the safe isolation, voltage indicators, etc. We're going to do that in 2 weeks' time, aren't we? We're going
Yeah,
to
in the next
accumulate
slide,
that
I think
list.
we've got a big list to go through because there's been a lot of people who've done that CPD.
Yeah, a huge amount of people have done that CP. So Andy and the team that have been putting together Safe for September, thank you very much. And I think it's an annual thing now, isn't it? We'll be back in next September and we'll be bumping that drum, won't
I
we?
think it's baked in. Yeah.
It's baked in. We like that as well. So that's all good stuff. All good stuff. Got any questions, Gordon? So we were over there. You could have perhaps scanned through the questions.
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff.
Well, let's have them then, Gordon.
There's
There's a lot.
Well, we can put them on the screen. if
Yeah,
we
we could put them on the screen. Take the pressure off you.
There's lots of. We've got the wrong.
Talk amongst yourselves while Gordon finds a question.
I mean, I'll get there. But it's actually it's hard to hear because we see loads of great products designed by electricians.
We
For
do, and
electricians.
splates.
And the splates.
And
yeah.
the splates as well.
Yeah.
Don't forget them. There's great products designed by electricians and there's splates, which we could have done with earlier on in the old boardroom, couldn't we?
did, yeah, we
What
had a
did you say when the table was wobbling?
Yeah, we've got any of those splates with you. We didn't have the kit was still in the van. So.
He's a legend, and he's bought us a drink again. We'll be having a point on you tonight, Richard. He is an absolute gem in the electrical industry. Yes, fantastic. Yeah, so we're always, aren't we? We're chasing people down. I would suggest that you've created a product probably bigger than anything we've seen before, haven't we, on the channel, Gordon? We've done things like Solder Mate, haven't we, the Brocket, and obviously anything by Richard Brook.
Yeah.
But to actually get an EV charger, that's taking it to another level, I would suggest.
Yeah, I mean, Ben, what would you be? Is it too late for electricians to get into EV, or is it?
No, that's all. The market's still very young. You know, if you ask average Joe on the street, they've probably never heard of a EV charging brand before. So there's plenty of opportunity for everybody to get involved.
Is that something you're seeing, Dale? Is it something that you've got on the back burner? You said you've done one, you've got two more pending. Do you see it exponentially growing your business as well?
Yeah, I see a lot more customers sort of asking and inquiring about sort of the EV products, and obviously now that I've had the pleasure of meeting this gentleman next to me, I shall be offering them this kind of product to the market, so that they can hopefully learn the Synage EV name.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those, and once we get to a decent second-hand market, with no disrespect to anyone, because that's where I'll be looking, but yeah, once we get to that stage, I think then that's where we can get it then, can we? So people are renewing an EV with a new one, that second-hand one hits the market, and then obviously brings another load of people into play at that stage. Now, when we talk about EVs, we can't go without talking about EVs and Gordon's ownership of a Tesla. Now, there's plenty of stories here, and one or two that we're going to lean into. So, last Wednesday, we had a great day, didn't we? We had a good fun day. We stayed really late. We produced loads of content. We had some great wins on YouTube as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then only one thing could ruin the end of the day, and it was late,
There
dark.
was two things I think could ruin it.
Well, one ruined my day.
Yeah. One ruined my day.
Okay.
Totally. So it's when you.
Would you go first? What ruined your day?
Well, I reversed my car into something.
You reversed. So hang on, you've got a Tesla. They've got sensors in every single element of that thing. It can drive itself. And you've jumped in it.
Yeah.
And you've gone what, 3 meters or less?
Probably 3 foot, I think.
3 foot.
Yeah.
Okay. For those people that don't know Imperial, that would be about 1 meter. For those people born probably in my era. Okay. Yeah. So you're in feet and inches still, young man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've gone back, and what stopped the journey?
Your van.
Okay, so my van stopped your journey?
Yeah. It was
What
in the
part
way.
of my van?
Well, you'd normally park it there.
Okay, yeah. Don't normally park it near a car with that many sensors, do I? It's big,
There's a problem
it's red.
on the sensors.
Yeah, so you've hit it, you've caved the complete door in on the passenger side. You've also managed to catch the back panel, which is the big problem, because that means the whole entire wrap off the side's gone. We've then got our friendly tyre expert to come in and do a little bit of modification. He's tried to pull it out and all the rest of it. And
He's done a great job.
He hasn't done a great job, because when I turn up at a fast food restaurant, can I get my goods through the window?
Well, I think you're nearly back with it.
No, it's there.
There.
I'm like a right lunatic trying to have
you
my
get a
card
bit of
out, yeah?
exercise. You get to get out of the van. You're supposed to stand up every hour. You get to stretch your legs.
So you've smashed you're getting rid of it soon, aren't you?
It's got to go back, yeah.
It's got a dent in it as well, isn't it?
It's still, yeah, it's got, but I've
Yeah,
had it done,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, so that's the first story.
Yeah.
We've come down here to Telford,
Yeah.
to the great people at BG Luceco. You brought the Tesla, I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't want to jump in my van because you got to get home.
Yeah.
You didn't bring all the car with you though, did you?
No, the wheel arches dropped off on the way down.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. And you stopped, didn't you, on the way down to put it back on?
Put it back on once. And I
Yeah.
thought, all right.
And who spotted that it wasn't attached to your vehicle?
You did.
I did, didn't I? And you didn't
I
believe
ruined
it,
my
did
day
you?
again.
You didn't believe it, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Would you buy another Tesla?
No.
No? Okay. No. They call it the Apple of the phone, sorry, they call it the Apple of the car world.
Yeah.
You've had loads of Apple devices.
Yeah.
But you've only had one Tesla.
Yeah.
Suggests that it's not the Apple of the car
And it's gone
world.
back in next week for something else.
Oh, is it?
As
What's
well
wrong
as the
with-
wheel arch.
What's wrong with it? Squeaky
the
driver?
front door sensor, which because there's a problem on that, it blocks out the reverse and cameras and stuff like that. There's always a warning light comes up.
So that caused you to run...
It's in the loop, that's my excuse.
All right, okay. Have you ever heard of mirrors?
Well, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Drives
It's got
itself, doesn't
yeah.
it? Drives itself, doesn't it? Into a van, yeah? Yeah, so anyone who sees the red van, yes, it is stoved in down one side, and that wasn't me, it was Gordon Routledge.
Yeah.
So, any other EV stories you want to come up with?
And I still haven't got my Economy 7 back.
I was going to mention that.
Yeah.
What made you take your Economy 7
Because I was
metre
going
out?
to get a smart meter. It's been going on.
And how much is your electricity bill every month?
About 329.
Sorry, I didn't hear you there. How much?
£329.
Wow, why didn't you get E7?
Huh? Well, I did, but they took it out when they
Why
put the
did you have it
smart
taken
meter
out when your electricity
Well, 'cause
bill's
I was
so
gonna
dear?
go
You're
for the
mental.
smart meter,
Yeah.
I've got E7.
Have you? Well done. Yeah, don't have it taken out because it's really good. They give you a cheap tariff overnight, don't they?
Yeah, that's right.
You got an EV?
Got not at the minute. It's on order. It's on order.
You've got the company, you haven't got one.
With everyone else, it's on the waiting list.
Surely you'd have been an early adopter.
I've got a Nissan MV200 van, but
Oh, yeah, there you go. Is that battery
it's
on?
from when I'm me installing days. I don't
Okay.
really drive it
All
anymore.
right, no worries. You've got a battery van, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, good, good, good.
so I've got an EV.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, that's what you need to stick with, yeah?
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
your actual car?
Dale, you're not an electric?
No,
Yeah.
possibly not.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Hybrid.
Yeah.
Get a Tesla. I know someone's selling one off cheap. So
So I was right, I did get a Friday afternoon Tesla. Yeah,
you did.
that's it.
Would you like another bunch of times coming in, Gordon?
Yeah, we can, yes, we can cut to a
No,
regular...
we'll ask for the times first.
I'm
We'll
gonna
stall
get
it in, son. Come on.
prepared
Just
up.
because you'd lost your
Because we're going to say goodbye to Ben, we're going to swap out Ben.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I like Ben.
You've been nervous all day and you've just...
Nervous all day. You've been brilliant guest, you have.
Been
Yeah.
a pleasure.
Yes.
Nice
Yeah,
to meet you guys.
absolutely.
And it's a
yeah.
fantastic
I'm one of your
story.
favourites still.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
Sorry, Joe.
So we're going to have the second half of the Electricians Challenge. And it's now time for Adam Pavey of South Manchester Electrical.
He's big on Instagram, isn't he? He's always
He's
on
big on
Instagram.
Instagram because
Doesn't do much work,
he
though.
uses Dan's services. He doesn't do much work because he's got it sussed.
So he's the electrician. We've had the non-electrician, so
Yeah.
the dart player's going up
So
now.
you'd expect he would be faster.
You would.
But that's not necessarily baked in.
It
We've seen this
isn't.
go horrendously wrong. But
Yes.
if you get closest to his times and they're already coming in and everyone thinks he's going to be fast.
Do they?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah, they certainly do.
Yeah, so that
So we'll cut to that and we'll come back and we'll just see exactly what we're on. Closest to it gets the other one of these work lights, so we'll have to decide which ones.
I was saying, if they're magnetic, you probably want to keep one for your car, don't you? Maybe you have to stick it to part of it so you can drive off with it on in case your headlight went one time, didn't it? You sent that to Big Clive, didn't
There's
you?
there is, yeah. My Tesla headlights on Big Clive. I think it's up to about 150,000 people have seen that.
You
taken
could probably
to bits.
post in most parts of your van or your car, can't you, over a period of time? My van will come with it because obviously that's stuck to the back of it, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and if someone's picked up a wheel trim this afternoon, then yeah, it's send
Classic,
it back.
isn't it? Absolute classic.
Anyway, enough fun there. Well, Rick, let's cut to it.
Adam is off. Now, Adam's a massive fan of Rewired agency, but there's one aspect of working life that he's maintained. So he's obviously shipped off his phone calls, his emails, he's booking his diary, getting the quote sent to the client, but there is one thing that he still really enjoys doing, does our Adam? Debt recovery.
Debt recovery.
Yeah, if you don't pay Adam, he don't mind knocking on your front door and asking for his money.
Yeah, I'd be worried he'd be menacing you in the South Manchester area. But is he going to be menacing these sockets in quickly? He's made a good start. He's gone for a twist, not quite as aggressive as Dan's before, but the teeth are out there. He's got a grimace to him. All right, let's see how he gets on here.
Oh, so that's the worst set of legs we've seen for a while as well. It might be National Shorts Day, but some people shouldn't get them out.
Whoa, we've had a disaster down at the cable reels.
A little bit of entanglement.
Oh, that could cost them a few seconds. That's the top spot gone, I'd
Yeah.
suggest.
Yes, here we go, round the corner. Now, he's got a terrible twist there, so this is going to be even more fiddly. Whereas Dan, the non-electrician, he had a better twist going around that corner. So we're up and down like a yo-yo. In with his mini croppers, is he? Oh, no.
Oh, we've got a Jacari.
Is it though?
Well, I don't know, there's a lot of people, about 30 different brands of those strippers. I think everyone's got one.
They're all the same, bar the sticker on the side of them.
Suspiciously similar. Yeah.
However, in their defence, I do love a set of twin and earth strippers, even though he's used it for single cables. Up to 2.5mm square conductor sizes in the twin skin. So this is quick. This is quick. So we need done the RCBO. So we'll be dropping
Yeah, that
socket.
was quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Now, here's where it comes. That's quite a long cut on there.
Yep, he's doing a JB. Yeah, so
He's doing the JB as well.
yeah, he is. Oh, he's put them down. So you stripped and put them down. There's where you lose the minor seconds, isn't it? Because you're going to have to pick them back up in order to do the line and neutral. So just did the protective conductor there. So we're back in with snips, and now, yeah, you see.
Right, yeah.
It's the little bits.
Just those little bits, yeah.
All the difference. Now, is that a phone call coming in? The
Yeah,
wristwatch?
phone call. Well, he doesn't answer his phone, does he? So he's just going to ignore it.
Yeah, even his wife has to book him in, I think, on that planner. Is it Kieran?
Kieran, yeah, book in some time with the wife. Kieran in the office.
Yeah, Kieran looks after the wife, I think.
He's looking actually pretty fast here. He's doing well here.
Yeah. Is it Rick Hearn and people like that he's after? Is it his social media friends?
He's all, JB, all of them there.
Everyone wants to be JB now, though, don't they? So it's good. That is rapid up. We're not going to go back and tidy up those cables out of the containment. They're staying on there.
No need to.
Bit of fun. Yes. So here we go.
Often lost on people on social media, but there we go. And we're nearly there. Going for the final one. Oh, he's done. Okay, Dan, how did you find that?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did. I didn't want to do it. I was dreading it, to be honest, on the long drive up here. And but when you get into it, the competitive spirit kicks in and started to really want to get me time down, to be fair.
Right. So and you're not going to swap careers?
Not just yet.
Not just yet.
You know, I've now, you gave me 3 goes on the wall, so I've now wired 3 sockets in my life. I think I'm happier behind the monitors with the earpiece on, if I'm honest with you. But hey, listen, I've seen it firsthand, and I respect it a bit more now, probably, to be fair.
So, Adam, obviously your day job. How did you find that?
No, I've never done it before.
No.
No, it was all right. I don't know. You think you're going to go in all hoops and glory and everything, but it didn't plan out. But I think I got a decent time. But...
Oh well, we'll see. So looking at the board, Adam, where do you think where would you like to be?
Anywhere over halfway will do. Anything above Rick Hearn, the UK Spark. Anything? Let's set the benchmark there.
And your sort of acquaintances on the old Instagram, aren't you?
Yes.
And Dan, for you?
Yeah, I mean, I had my eyes on Mark Hodgson, if I'm honest, when I walked in here. I didn't think for a second. You did tell me Carl was over there.
Yeah.
But then I kind of put 2 and 2 together and thought, if he's got his own wall, he's shocking. So I had my eyes on Mark Hodgson. And genuinely anything above that, I would have been chuffed with, to be fair, because I thought I was going to be propping it up.
Well, let's see. Dan, we'll go with you first. So, Dan McAdam, you did this in 5 minutes and 26, which is...
Did I really?
Which is a great effort, just behind Shahid Khan, who is an electrician.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you're into
swap
sort of career swapping electrician. And Adam, you did this in 3 minutes.
Oh, nice.
And 54, which puts you above Rick Hearn, just underneath Richard Brook.
I think you might need the clock calibrating or something. Are you sure that's right?
Still bantering on at the end there as well, wasn't he? Fantastic. So they're gone. So them prizes are locked in on the times. So we know who's won those, and we'll come back to those at the end of the show as we always do. But Gary's Swap Shop's still available. So if you want to play along, it's LED torch. And it doesn't matter whether you do the LED in upper or lowercase, but it is 2 separate words. And you can win these 2 on Gary's Swap Shop. Remember, if your name's pulled out, I will need you to send me some black sleeving or brown. Which one do we use as a switching line conductor? I never remember.
Black you normally use.
I normally use, but send me brown to help me out here. So I need some brown sleeving if you're one of the 2 people pulled out. And these are up, and I'm sure there'll be a mini bundle as well. I'm sure there'll be stickers and all sorts of other things going in with it. But please remember, because we had somebody contact us this week, it takes up to 28 days in order. They'd only waited 14 and they were already requesting where it was, which isn't the 28 days that you got. We might chuck a couple of these in. These are packers for table legs. So if you ever have a wobbly table, these work here, and they're called splates. That's lovely, isn't it?
We might be swapping this one out. I think
I think
we've pinched that from the R&D department.
Yeah.
Which is good, actually. I like this.
I do. I can't believe we didn't make them. Yeah,
fantastic. We could abandon you somewhere in the middle of the moors and you could find your own way back or something like that.
Don't mention them moors to me. We're not going there. There's other stories on that. We're not having those tonight. We seem to have a different guest. I seem to have lost my EV partner, and I've been joined by Paul. So, Paul, you work for BG Luceco then?
That's correct, yeah.
But you work for them, and you've not built a business and sold it to them, have you?
Unfortunately not.
No. So what is your role here at BG Luceco?
So I'm product manager for circuit protection, so I look after the Fortress domestic range.
Okay, so we're talking consumer units, breakers, RCBOs and all the rest of it.
All that good stuff, yeah.
Wow, there should be some loads of questions coming in here. So what was your thinking on the change away from AC RCDs now to a minimum of A-type with the 18th editions fully in now?
Yeah, we now have a fully convergent range, so we're fully up to date with AMD2. All our now consumer units are now coming out with A-type devices as standard. We sell them as a loose device as well, so we cater for all different types of installations that require them.
Yeah, and that's the easy one, I think, on the 18th edition, is
Absolutely,
it?
yeah.
You can still use an AC one if you're in somebody's house who's like 95 years old, you know, grey male and stale over there. He's probably got AC ones in his house. He's got a couple of incandescent lamps and a hot plate somewhere like that, yeah, in his house. So he's okay, so he's got no DC leakage.
Yep.
But of course, it was that AFDDs, wasn't it? It came in on Amendment 2.
Yep.
We've still not got our head around the word, they say recommended, is that right?
Well, it depends.
Does it?
Yeah.
On socket outlet
On
circuit?
socket outlet circuits.
Yeah, so they're using that word recommended. And what does that mean to you?
Recommended means it's just something for consideration. You should certainly consider having them in.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Should. So you've got to do something, haven't you? You've either got to fit them or you've got to do something else.
Correct.
So that suggests to me in every socket up to 32 amps, a single phase, we should be strongly considering AFDD.
Absolutely.
There's also 4 areas where we know you must fit
have
them
them,
as well.
yeah.
Do you want to run through those 4 areas?
I knew you'd ask me that question.
Yeah, I know,
I'm trying my best
absolutely.
to remember them. So, student accommodation,
Student accommodation.
housing multiple occupancy.
Yes, I've got them too.
Occupation.
Yeah. Think of Gordon. Sorry. A bit early there, that was, wasn't it? So what's that, care homes, did you say?
Well, care homes is one of them, yeah, and high-rise buildings.
Yeah, okay. So they define the high-rise building as well, don't they? 18 metres.
metres.
Yeah, and yeah. But it doesn't mean if it's 19 metres, you only do the 1 metre above.
That's correct.
People got to be.
Yeah, you've got to be 18 and above, you're fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're okay, we're in the lower ones.
Yep.
So obviously, yeah. So have you seen them come yet in your care home yet, Gordon? Have they introduced them? Have you been fishing around in the board?
No, but the one I'm going to put you in, they said they're going to
Yeah.
fit them next week. Dale's going to sort me out because he's working for the NHS
You
now.
all said to me you're going to put me in a hole. Yeah. So obviously there's lots of subtle changes, and we've seen, so from the 17th edition, obviously we've seen loads of changes, and we come through in one. We went to metallic and supporting tails and all the rest of it. Where do you see us going next? Let's look at the journey of a consumer. You must be looking at, you know, Amendment 3 in one eye and 19th edition in the other. What do you see a consumer unit maybe looking like in 10 years' time?
In 10 years' time, very, very smart, very, very switched on, very controllable.
Right. So you think maybe some of that load shedding and sharing and all
load
that?
shedding, yeah, absolutely. Load shedding, maybe sort of things like final circuit monitoring, etc.
Yeah. Well, we see that as well. Do you think our boards are going to get bigger?
Yes.
Do you think they may go 2 or 3 stacks?
Yes.
And that reminds me of a word. What word do I use when we suggest other people are using it maybe abroad?
On the continent.
They do, on the continent. Yeah, absolutely. And again, they're not scared to put other things in now, are they? Whether it be a contact or a time clock or anything like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think maybe that's something we need to be considering as well. That there might be a case that, you know, if you've got a bottom rail, which is obviously away from the top 2 rails maybe that are over current protection, AFDDs or whatever, why don't we have maybe the isolator for, I don't know, solar PV or something like that in there, Gordon? Wouldn't we like to smuggle them in there?
Yeah, why not? Get it all contained in one.
Yeah, absolutely. Go to one
Because
location.
we're building a rig in the unit at the minute for solar PV, and it looks a right mess, doesn't it? It's stuff all over.
Rick must be so chuffed with that statement. Yeah. It looks all right mess. Yeah. We haven't done it. Rick's done it. Yeah. So Rick's put some all right. He's put it on the wall more than once as well, hasn't he?
We're learning as we go.
So as we're thinking there, yeah, it's a lot about obviously understanding the system you've got, but it's those other elements, isn't it, that you can put in there? And is that something that maybe you're going to embrace moving forward? Do you think there'll be other things in there?
I think there will be other things in future. Like I say, you've hit the nail on the head mostly at the moment for things like PV, solar, EV charging, etc. Already going to be there now, but moving forward, who knows what's going to be around the corner.
Yeah, and I always find it a little bit incredible because I look at an isolating switch to do with battery and solar. It's quite big. Yeah, I look at the main switch in my consumer unit at 100 amps. It's quite small. Yeah, you think, whoa, what are we doing here? So I think if the enclosure can be bigger, actually the switches within there can be considerably smaller. We get the room out the enclosure.
Course, yeah.
That's good. Anything for you, Gordon, on that one?
No. Dale, are you fitting any AFDDs yet? Have you had to? Or was it
Not at the moment, I haven't fitted AFDDs, but I've started moving into the RCBOs that you guys have been producing, which have been good quality and stuff like that. Very reliable.
Yeah.
It's coming, though, isn't it? AFDDs. It's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? How a customer takes that step up in cost.
Because you've already had a date for the Amendment 3, haven't you?
I've seen a couple of years, but it's
a couple of years away.
They're already starting to think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
It'd be interesting because it's a bit like the hokey cokey. Because in 18th edition, it was we were in, weren't we? And they were recommending it on all circuits, and then whoosh, when we came back out, and it was obviously socket circuits defined across the 4 areas you talked about. It'd be interesting to see whether there's common ground in Amendment 3, where we go with that one as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Interesting to see.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, very interesting to see. Yeah. Gordon, got any questions?
I've just seen there's loads. I mean, there's people.
They'll all be on EV now. Yeah.
No, they're on.
Now Ben's sitting over there.
Obviously, people, sort of retrofitting. If you go and do an EICR and it's got ACRCDs in, at what point do you suggest the customer changes it over?
Yeah, so we've looked at this and we've asked that question. I think you've got to look at what's installed. Okay, so you've got to be looking at what's currently there, and if you're seeing, is it a code, you can C3 it, that's what the common consensus is, it's a C3, but then you look up and you see a solar panel, you look around and everything's, LED lighting, etc. You've got to be going, hang on a minute, this is probably a conversation with a customer that we can't just maybe walk away with it. And I think anyone, often we say, don't we, the customer won't pay for this, the customer won't pay for that. I think if you sit someone down and explain exactly what's going on, the customer can make an informed decision. Do I want an AFDD on a circuit that can maybe prevent, a lead to a plugged-in item causing me an issue? Have the conversation in it. So exactly the same with the RCDs going away from AC to A. And if I had a lot of solar PV and all the rest of it, Gordon, I wouldn't necessarily want to be AC, would you?
No. Well, not with all. Yeah, I mean it's. I've still got AC. I think I might test that one. I think I need to do a retrofit project.
It is normally when there's an issue with the DC stuff, it starts leaking back, isn't it? It's just that's a problem at that stage. But it's interesting times, exciting times, and I'm sure everybody. It's always the way, and I always think of it's like your video recorder went Betamax, went VHS, we went to a CD, and now we stream everything. Yeah. The consumer unit's following the same sort of pattern, really, isn't it? It's like we get better and better, and people go, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do. We understand more now.
It's constantly evolving. It's something that us as a company, BG, are looking at. We're trying to move forward, listen to contractors' comments, as you well know from the things we've done recently with yourselves. Yeah. And like I say, as things evolve, as time goes on, technology is going to advance. New technology is going to come out, and hopefully we're going to be there with it as well.
Yeah. And I must say, the manufacturers, we work with lots of manufacturers. BG are particularly good, seem to be at listening to the feedback that comes back from the company. Yeah. We call it the Gary hole.
Yes.
On one of them. Well, he claims credit for it. Probably loads of people said it, but
yeah, you're right. We've had some forums with contractors in. We've listened to what they've said, and not just discarded the comments. We actually looked at it, gone through it, strip the board bang and had a look at it and trying to make it best for the installers as we can. Really.
And we like to see that it sort of feeds through. We looked at one from a few years ago, and then the updated version, you start to see that feedback coming through.
Even now, we're still looking now. We've recently updated. We're still looking to improve that and make it better.
Yeah, and there's one I like. There's an IP rated one.
Oh, is that outside?
Yeah, we've not seen that.
No, I didn't see that. So this is to get over putting stuff in meter boxes that people don't photograph themselves doing anymore. So
ever since we did that video, ever since we asked the DNOs and should you put stuff in the meter box, people seem to have stopped doing it. Yeah. Or putting the photograph on Instagram.
Yeah, IP65 enclosure.
Yeah. That is, yeah.
And we've piggybacked off with Ben's equipment as well. This one, the grey one here, it's for the EV ones as well, to match the same colour as the EV charger.
Yeah.
As well. So.
Do one in brick?
Not yet.
Just thought I'd ask.
If enough demand for it, we'll look at it.
I think there's a mahogany finish coming out for you, Gary. And a rope edge brass one.
Yeah, rope edge brass. That'd be nice for me. Oh, that'd be a cool EV charger, wouldn't it? With a little bit of rope edge. I'm out of that. So, let's go back to that. So IP rated. So is that something you'd consider doing? Maybe putting a small consumer unit somewhere located on the outside of a property?
I would consider doing something like that. Obviously, if the where the board is located is quite congested, it would be obviously quite beneficial to offer that to a client. I know a lot of people have sort of exterior works done, and it's quite popular at the moment making use of gardens and spaces over the COVID period. So I think that would be quite beneficial, and people see a big use in that.
Yeah. Keeps out of that meter box as well, doesn't it, Gordon?
Yeah.
Jamming that full of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a few fires, isn't there?
Well, there's an epic quote on that video today. I'll have to dive into the comments. So, sometimes you get comments on a video. This one stretches to 3 pages, and it's someone who used to work for the DNOs.
But wasn't very happy.
He wasn't very happy. Yeah. He's explained.
Were we okay? And was it just general
No,
banter?
it was just his feedback on why you shouldn't put stuff in there, because when they go in there if they have to go in there and do something, remember they're doing it live.
Right.
So, and have to work with gloves, so they're sort of being squashed into a tiny area to have to do their repair work, particularly on some of those older meter boxes, the old narrow ones.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm glad he did. I'm glad he gave us comment. Yeah, because you don't really. Yeah,
I haven't got back to it yet because it came in this afternoon and it's an epic.
So we're talking about them, the incoming cable to the cutout. They're working live on. Everything else is dead because they'll pull the cutout fuse like the rest of us, won't they? So yeah.
They'll ask someone to come in and remove it for you and put an isolator switch in.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I left that one in there. We'll pull the fuse like everybody else. Yeah. So are we allowed to pull the fuse?
No, not supposed to.
No. We're allowed to break the seals.
No.
Are we allowed to go into the meter and make our connections?
No.
Okay. And if we were to do that, probably the best thing to not do is probably put your pictures then on social media suggesting you are doing it. You're better off not doing that, I would suggest.
Yeah.
Could lead to a fire. Wonder what the torque settings on a meter are. Do you reckon
We've got that to come.
I wonder.
So is anything new from BG? Is any sneak peeks coming out, circuit protection wise?
As I said, we're evolving the consumer unit. We've talked about that. There are some other things in the future, but stuff I can't talk about at the moment.
Oh, we're only between friends. Don't
Well,
worry about
I
it.
know. You know,
Lean into it, Paul.
so I'm in an obligation not to say anything. So, but yeah, keep watch this space. There are some new interesting things coming forward. Yeah.
F-type breakers. Too soon, is it still?
E-type, Gary.
E-type was it? I can't remember what they were. Yeah, E-type. Electronic, weren't they? How many amps were they?
2
amps.
2 amps,
Yeah. There's nothing worse than getting a telling off on social media, is there? Don't remember to play along with Gary's Swap Shop. All you need to do is put LED torch into the description. There's still a chance to when we haven't pulled anyone out at the moment to do that. Yeah, we got a little bit told off for that one, didn't we? So, yeah. How are we doing on the questions?
Yeah,
Have we got any for the 30 under 30 category? Remember, the link is in for the CPD that we've launched tomorrow, which you can get early access to on our EV charger. The Sync EV charger appears in the CPD for those people who want to go over to do it. I think Joe's also updated our website while we're sat here, Gordon. So it's actually there that you can go away and grab that link. He's giving the thumbs up in the background. So that's there, but don't go over just yet. So you want to get early access to that. And the 30 under 30 tab for the awards are in there as well. So you wake up tomorrow morning and start nominating people. Is there anyone that you consider nominating, Dale?
I do have
you employ 2 people, so are they of an age?
They are actually of an age, yes, they are younger, but I do have a young guy that I've been trying to mentor external. So he works for a company, but they're not that great with sort of providing information.
Yep.
So I've been trying to work with him sort of external to give him additional sort of work. And he's really put the work in, so I'd probably put him down for sort of a nomination. He's very good.
And that would nothing better to endorse somebody else as you move on in it. So yeah, and how many people can you nominate, Gordon?
There's no limit to that, yeah.
No limit, so nominate as many people as
Nominate
you want.
away, yeah. Just to say, they have to be under 30.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
key. That's the key criteria.
You're not even under double 30, are you?
Oh,
Are you, Gordon? Yeah, the double 30. Yeah.
but,
You've had a birthday recently. How old are you?
48 now, Gary. Yeah, there you go.
Wow, we've all done it, haven't we? Wow,
Someone put 47 in here. So
47. Yeah, he's 48. I know. You're thinking 68. Unbelievable. Oh, look.
you just made me feel it there.
Oh, sockets. Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, can't work
just
forever,
remember,
Gordon. You've got to
Richard.
stop at some point, give somebody else a lot younger a job.
You want help with that solar battery, Richard? It's not happening anymore now.
Go on,
A few people using the IP rated board there, Theo Webster. Another 30 under 30 runner down in the south. I think he's coming up as well. Where is he?
Is Theo with us? I don't know.
I don't know.
It all went quiet there, didn't it? That's not good telly, is it?
That's the studio audience.
Yeah, studio audience says no. Theo Webster. So yeah, that's good. Well, how come we haven't reviewed that yet then? Why have we not had a little look at that one?
And Mrs. Hayes is on, Gary.
Yeah, she got back. My wife said to me, let's do a wife story. So my wife said today, I've got a school thing on tonight. She's got to meet the current parents that are new to the school to explain the phonics and maths that they have to do as little people. Believe it or not, the minute you arrive, you're under pressure to learn everything. And she does like a mentoring evening for the parents. And she said to me, I don't know what time I'll get back for the live. I said, well, it doesn't matter, does it? I mean, don't worry about it. I said, make sure you get done what you got to get done. Don't issue. I've never missed one. Wow. Yeah, that's nice. Nice touch. I've never missed one. Yeah, and we've seen me now on the telly when before we've gone live. Bless her. Here we go. Oh, yeah, thank you for joining us. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Thank you for bringing that up, Rick. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, it's good. So, what's this one? Good evening. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. That's good, Rick. You pulled them out rather quickly. Has your wife said hello? Because she hasn't seen you for about 3 days. You've come down here. You've got a karting day tomorrow. You're doing karting tomorrow. Golf on Friday. we were having a bit, when we were chatting at the meal, I said, please tell me that Leeds aren't at home on Saturday, because he'd have come down for a steak tonight, karting tomorrow, golf on Friday, and then he'd been at the football on Saturday. He said, no, they're away, they're playing on Sunday. And your mate of the season ticket even said so, didn't he? He said, that would be a ton of trouble, a ton of trouble. Right, so are we getting close to where we want to hand out some prizes?
We are, yeah. Have we got some times?
We've got some times.
Who's got some winners for me?
Yeah, well, hang on. Well, is he in the room with us, is he? Is it who we thought it was for the GT time? Yeah, okay, go on. So you got a GT time winner. You got your first ever. We've got a double winner.
Double winner.
Yeah, but
we're going to have to watch back through our other videos.
Yeah.
If we'd let the leaderboard slip in the background somewhere.
Yeah, I think we have.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, because one of the products Gordon's got down here, so bring it up, Gordon.
With a compass on it.
Yeah, so this product here is actually never ever been manufactured. It's a prototype, do you agree?
Yeah.
And I would love it for myself. So if anyone's having that and the winner is not having it, I'm going to have it. So we can't give that one away. So we will give away one torch for a double winner, plus some other goodies that you'll find at Lineside Studios. Is that right?
Yeah.
Would you like to announce the winner, Gordon?
It is a big Ash. And he's a frequent winner because he does loads of stuff. And it's like that thing is, the more you do, the more chances you got of winning. So.
He had a conversation with some other people that were studying as well. So he's in that sort of studying program. He's slightly older as well, so he's taking it really seriously. And he tried to encourage them to do the stuff that we've done and other people on social media. And he said, I looked at them and I just didn't want to do it. And he had to forcefully say what an opportunity they were missing. I think he's used Instagram to absolutely leverage his position as he trained through, hasn't he? I think he's had some great kit and he's always on with our stuff. So that's really good.
And wouldn't want to upset him, would he?
He is massive, massive. Big Ash, yeah. So yeah, he is Big Ash for a reason. And then we've got my one. So we've got the. So we're hoping Rick's going to let us know. Give it to Gordon on the way through. Gordon's the prize man. I'll hold the prizes up. There's two different ones. You do not know which one you're going to get because we were not that sophisticated. Oh, we had Steve on the camera there. Put Steve back on.
Torch, actually. Hold on.
But there's two different ones.
Yeah, no, not the one, the head torch. Yeah.
What about it?
I'm just seeing if it's different to the one I've got.
Oh, is it? Oh,
is that a new version or something?
Somebody's getting a second-hand head torch that's been used for 3 years. Yeah. So there we go. So these two prizes here for Gary Swap Shop. Now you haven't won them, have you?
No, you've got to send in some black sleeving.
And how do I know where to send it to?
It's in the Get Involved tab below. Click on that. There's a form to fill in. Well, you get
it's
the address
brown
there.
sleeving, all right?
Brown sleeving.
Yeah, I say it's
I
brown.
looked at one of your videos and that's where it was black.
Yeah. Yeah, I can lose my patience really quickly. Okay, so who's won Gary Swap Shop?
So we have got John Adams. John Adams?
John Adams?
Yeah.
Okay. New name to me.
And Onin Bridas.
Okay,
so
brilliant.
That's all good. So that's good.
So can we bring them up on the screen or not? We're not that sophisticated now. Drop the ball back there. So in order to get involved, go to the Get Involved tab in the bottom, send it through to the address Lineside Studios. Agreed? Yeah, absolutely in there.
And send a letter, obviously, any humour or digs or low-level bullying you want to continue on.
We got
always welcome.
We got a nice one this week, didn't we? Or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, we've got some effort.
From Sean.
Sean Dempsey.
Sent a lovely letter in.
Yeah.
So we thank Sean for
and a timer.
Yes, he did. Yeah, to go some effort to get that in. Did we send him his prize?
I think so. So got it,
2 days ago.
Yeah. We're all on it with the
2 days
post.
ago.
We're getting there. And Ash and Theo Webster is with us. He's already in the hotel having a few ciders.
Is he?
The West Coast.
Is he the same hotel we're at?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wow.
So we'll be heading over there soon.
Well, I wonder ask him what time the bar shuts. Is it open? Is it open for? Yeah, we get our order in now. Yeah. So that's really good. And we've had some great time today, and with the good people at Luceco Group. Obviously, they're looking after us for the next 2 days. We've actually got almost 2 days of sort of hospitality, aren't we? First time ever, this is.
Yeah, and for us, a lot of time, it's great to meet Dale. I was one of the 30 winners. It's like sometimes I feel like I've been stalking these people because as we go through the selection process and things like that, to forward to the judges, you're like thinking, yeah, I know too much. but at least we know where the name comes from. When is Steve Hurrell doing the 15th edition GT Challenge? Oh, that's a good idea.
Sockets, our good friend of Sockets. Are we going to have one of them? Is that tomorrow? Are we going to have another Steve get up on the stage and say, 16th edition, don't judge? Have we got another one of them coming up tomorrow, Steve? You practiced it. So, that's all good. So exciting times. So let's go through. Please make sure you go into our tab and look at our eFIXX awards. There are other categories as well. We're focusing on the 30 under 30 because believe it, how many chances are you got to win in that one, Gordon?
Got 30 chances.
Yeah. So imagine an award that can be given to 30 people. There is some obviously requirements for that award. You've got to be under the age of 30, and the details are in there. There are some category awards as well. So if you want to fish around, there is EV Installer of the Year. There's College Lecturer of the Year, dear to my heart. College of the Year, and some other great categories. I think we've got 15 in total this year.
15 categories.
Yeah.
And we've added in, there's a residential installer of the year being added.
Yeah.
There's an apprentice employer of the year being added. Wholesaler of the year, which is going to be a good one.
So this
voted for by the community.
Yeah, so that's not a wholesale group, so I don't vote for...
It's an individual branch.
Individual branch, so that's good. So that brings all those little independents are in with a great chance.
Yeah.
They're more likely to rally the troops, aren't they, as they come in. Imagine there'll be a form or an iPad there. You can just start your nomination here before I start your order over here. Maybe they'll replace the coffee machine with the order in order to nominate them in. So that's great. So there's some brilliant categories to get involved in. But again, it's only if you make the effort. And I think in year one, the people, and when I say make the effort, I mean you had to make an effort. You had to send in a photograph. You had to validate your nomination, who nominated you.
Yep.
So there's still a little bit of work involved. And it's not just, we don't stand them out, do we?
Well, someone said last night, I never win awards. I said, well, do you enter? Well, no. I said, well, there you go.
Yeah, it's
There you
always,
see.
always
If
tricky.
you don't
isn't it?
enter, you don't win.
Turn up at your front door with a gold medal, do they? Yeah. So that's really good. So we've had some great times here. Gordon, is there anything else you want to cover?
No, I think the bar is still open. That's
Oh,
what
the
they're
bar is
saying
still
on
open.
here.
Brilliant.
So,
That is
yeah.
good news.
But huge thank you to our guests, obviously Luceco, for getting behind the awards. There isn't, we say we deal with lots of manufacturers. There's not many that really put huge amounts back into education at the level that Luceco do.
Well, they've got their own academy, haven't they?
Yeah, and that sort of, obviously, the only person that stops a bad guy with a pair of side cutters is a good guy with a pair of side cutters, Gary. So there you
Is
go.
that a new phrase that
It
we have
is.
to use now, is it? We'd like to thank the people that support this live stream that comes out to you fortnightly. We'd like to thank the great people at BG Luceco. We'd like to thank our friends at Ludum Palazzoli. We'd also like to thank Wago. We'd like to thank Doncaster Cables. Oh, I always struggle with some of them. Oh, who's left?
Marshall Tufflex, My Energy, Fargo.
Okay, well done.
There you
Yeah,
go.
well done for looking at the screen and
Well,
I looked at
took
you.
it off.
Yeah, yeah. So again, it's fantastic. You've joined us. Obviously, we've had some great guests tonight, and it will continue on in 2 weeks. We'll be back at Lineside Studios. Are we on the road, Gordon?
On the road?
Are we on the road, or are we back at Lineside Studios in 2 weeks?
We are back. No, we're back there. Yeah.
Okay.
Just-
Now, if you want another live stream in the meantime, I will be hopefully live on a week on Monday, and I will be at Newark College at 12:30 doing an eFIXX College Connections. And again, you might be thinking, it's nothing to do with me. I'm a solid electrician. I don't need to know anything about colleges. However, it's the electricians in the comments that can help answer some of the questions that those people that are in the training process that they're asking as we do those videos. We've got some great segments in there. We've got the guy that I can't remember his name and where's he from. He's got his own segment.
Yeah.
Can you remember his name?
No.
Can you remember where he's from?
No.
No, so he's got his own segment, and I promise you by the time I get to Newark, I will have remembered his name and where he is, because there's no chance he'll actually tell me at the start of every one of his segments what his name is and where he's from. So we've got that. We're going to be exploring things like cables. We're going to be looking at those and conductors. We may be linking it into some overcurrent protection devices. We looked at that in a brief segment last time as well. And we've got some prizes to give away in that. So your college can win a bundle of books if you're tuning in 12:30 on week on Monday. And that's from
And
Newark
then there's
College.
also Alan popping along to Solar and Storage Live. We'll be there for 1 day.
Am I going?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I'm going as well. Where's that in the world?
That's it back at the NEC,
Right, okay.
18th, 19th.
Are we going there and back in the day?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We get in there. We've got a mission, but if anyone's got Solar and Storage Live, it'll be an interesting show, obviously, with the booming solar market.
Which day of the week's that?
It'll be, that's the first, it's a Tuesday.
Oh, so I'll come all the way to Skipton on a Monday, go back to Birmingham on Tuesday. Oh, we'll meet you there, will I?
Yeah.
I'll take the crushed van, so if you want to see me in the crushed van, make sure you get a photograph with me by the side of the crushed van as well.
And I'll be
That'll
there in
all
the
good,
Tesla
yeah.
with a missing wheel trim.
Yeah, and the
So,
dented
there
boot.
you go.
Yeah, it's all good. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. We absolutely thank everybody who joins us on the live streams. We thank our great guests, and we thank the good people at BG Luceco that help support this live stream, and they also help support my college connections, and that's where we'll
And
be
our
live.
studio audience, Gary.
Well, should we give them a clap? First ever time we've had a studio audience. Look at this bad boy. Yeah? That is overrated. Look at that size of that camera. Look at that bloke over there with his catalogue pose. Say hello, catalogue man. Hello, catalogue man. Yeah, so that's our stuff, isn't it? Look, there he is, old man Routledge. Say goodbye, old man Routledge.
Goodbye.
Yes. We're back in 2 weeks. Well, put the right camera on as I flop myself down. We're going for a beer. We'll see you in 2. Thank you very much.